Hey, what's up? I'm Darkbblue, trying to help everyone enjoy games in depth. Grim Dawn is a very great ARPG, but it can also be hard to get into. This video series is devoted to making this game more accessible to everyone who's interested. I call my videos into depth, not in depth, because getting into a game's deep mechanics is a process. There's a procedure that needs to be covered bit by bit. At the very beginning, this video is titled Painless Start. I make it painless through two special designs. First, I won't involve any third-party tool in this very first video. Third-party tools are important in the gameplay of Grim Dawn, but their involvement can be delayed until you truly fall in love with this game. And second, most guys might just tell you to play a warlord as your first character, but you may not really like this class. So in my guide, I will make efforts to support you to beat the endgame with any class you like. Now let's launch the game and create a character. Kill some mobs and you will be ready to select your first class, which would be the first topic of this video. In my opinion, you don't select a class, instead you select a skill you like, and naturally, you need to select the class that offers this skill. Before you put any skill point into the skill tree, you can freely undo your class selection. Therefore, you can check all the classes and the skills they have to offer until you see a skill you like. Admittedly though, it's impossible to actually see how a skill works, so you can only judge from the skill descriptions. Basically, you select a skill based on your roleplay fantasy. For example, I feel Bone Harvest of Necromancer sounds very cool. It reminds me of a character in animations, so I will choose to play as a Necromancer, majoring in Bone Harvest. To help you better select a skill and avoid possible mistakes, here's an additional suggestion. You may notice that the skills in the skill trees are divided into different shapes. Generally, squared skills are active skills, and round skills are passive skills. And active skills are divided into buff skills and damaging skills. When choosing your favorite skill, you want to choose from damaging active skills because they are what truly defines a build. As you level up, you also obtain an attribute point, which can be put in one of three attributes. Physique generally improves your survivability, Cunning generally improves your offensive capability, and Spirit increases your non-physical damage and energy bar. You can invest your attributes based on your roleplay fantasy, and don't be worried as you can reach back later. One question may come to you after you have selected a skill: how to actually cast this skill? The way to bind skills is quite unlike other RPGs. In Grim Dawn, you need to right-click a skill slot and choose the skill you have just invested into. Then you can cast this skill using the key binded to that skill slot. Keep doing quests and killing mobs, and soon you will reach level 10, when you can choose the second class. Yes, it's one of the major features of Grim Dawn to combine two different classes to form a complete class. And as you can notice, every combination has its unique class name, which is also quite a source of roleplay fantasy. Now it might be confusing. So you have already selected your favorite skill and its corresponding class. So what's the purpose of a second class? It's quite simple. In a team-based game, you have main damage dealers and supporters, and in Grim Dawn, your second class is the supporter for your main damage dealing skill. The first thing to do now is to check what damage types can your main damage dealing skill deal. For example, my damage dealer, Bone Harvest, can deal Vitality, Piercing, and Cold damage. It's quite common that a skill can deal multiple types of damage, as Bone Harvest does. In such cases, you should focus on one of these damage types. Let's say I want to focus on Vitality damage because it's not that commonly seen in other RPGs, so I feel it's cool. Then I need to choose a second class that can support Vitality damage. Naturally, the next question is how to judge if a class can support a certain damage type. Basically, you can make your judgment according to two standards. So the first one is, if a class can directly provide damage bonus to this damage type, it serves as a supporter. And two, if a skill can reduce the enemy's resistance to this damage type, it serves as a supporter. Taking Vitality Bone Harvest as an example, I noticed that a cultist has quite many buff skills that can increase my vitality damage. According to the first standard, this is a good candidate for the second class. Then, Devouring Swarm of Shaman and Guardian of Empyrean of Oathkeeper can both reduce vitality resistance. According to the second standard, they can be my second class too. So I simply follow my roleplay fantasy and choose Shaman. All in all, you have reached level 10 and selected your two classes based on your roleplay fantasy without being forced to use any third-party tool. I believe this can better help you immerse in the world of Grim Dawn and have some fun. So continue playing and enjoy yourself. As you do your main quest, you have encountered a shrine and obtained a devotion point. This is related to the devotion mechanic of Grim Dawn, which can be seen as your other skill tree. In the next video, I'll show you how to easily grab the big picture of devotion. Additionally, if you are curious what weapons to use with your class, the third video in this series will be talking about a special gear type in this game, Monster Infrequencies. Before you reach that video, it's in fact alright to use any weapon. If you want to play games into depth together with me, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you around.